Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special VGJFelix video in which I say goodbye to you for a short while. I am leaving the country. I am going to Sydney, Australia for 6 weeks on business, which means I will not be around, unfortunately, to do many videos. There is a possibility that I might make some videos if I'm bored out there, but the chances are very unlikely. You don't need to worry too much because I put together quite a few videos over the course of the next 6 weeks that I've scheduled to be released on a weekly basis. I think they're mostly coming out on a Saturday around about 12 PM GMT, so they will be available at some time on Saturday. But a bit of a word of warning, there probably won't be many videos for quite a while. So thank you everyone who has supported the channel over the last 12 months, well 16 months now I've been doing these videos, and I've been doing them pretty much non-stop, but unfortunately there is going to be a bit of a break, but I will return refreshed and revigored to do more videos in the future. So it just leaves me to do one more thing. If I'm going on a trip for a long period of time, which tablet do I take? Obviously I have a Nexus 7 and the iPad mini in front of me, and the decision, well, it's not particularly a difficult one. It is of course the Nexus 7, and let me try and explain why. First of all, there are some convenience questions to answer. I've had the Nexus 7 for much longer than the iPad mini, so I have many more apps installed on the tablet, and I have some paid applications that are on the tablet, and so obviously I want to use a tablet which has the most content available to me. The iPad I've had for only 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm still really bedding it in terms of how I'm going to use it. And I haven't got too many applications on there, although I will say that I have been surprised at how poor the App Store is on the Apple iPad, because I seem to remember when I used to use an iPad a couple of years ago, the App Store was much better, but I find it very clunky and very difficult to use. It's difficult to quickly navigate between one app and another when you see, oh, I quite like that application, but what applications are similar? It seems to be much easier to do on the Android operating system these days, and I will also say that Android applications are now becoming much better on tablets, and I've actually found that many of the applications on the Nexus 7 actually are better than the iPad, which is a big surprise to me, and maybe my opinion will change on that when I have more time to use the iPad. I mean, the iPad does have Zite, which is an absolutely fantastic application for the iPad environment, in that it basically creates news stories in these little articles, and if you press on the article it brings it up in a kind of reader style, as I've already shown on the iPad, and you can change the text to big, which I quite like. But the Nexus 7 does have Google Currents, which it's had for a long time, although the iPad does have it as well, but it also has Appy Geek and News Republic, which is now turned into almost the perfect news aggregating application, because it does exactly the same as Zite, in that it brings up news articles in a kind of blocked article to give you a brief rundown of each article, and then you press on it and it will take you to the article itself. So really the Nexus 7 has just as good applications as the iPad now. And the other thing, to be quite honest, is I usually consume content on my tablet in terms of reading, and I actually find the Nexus 7 better to read on than the iPad, because the bigger screen on the iPad, well, better for watching videos and watching media, it's just a little bit too big for my reading habits. I like to have my text big, and it just seems like I'm reading from a leaflet, which is a bit too big, whereas on the Nexus 7 this is almost the perfect book size shape. It's not obviously as light as an iPad, so there are some very argumentative points that you can put for both devices, but I just find that the Nexus 7, when I'm holding it, it fits more naturally in my hand. I can get my whole hand around it, or I can hold it like that very easily. And with the iPad, because it's just a bit bigger, even though it is a lot lighter, sometimes it just wafts around in my hand a little bit. However, that is as I say, a point that we could argue a lot on, and I probably will do in the full review. So the Nexus 7 is my tablet of choice as I go on holiday, which means that my girlfriend can enjoy this iPad for the next 6 weeks. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Have a wonderful time while I'm off, and I'll see you all in future videos soon. Bye!